Be sure to follow our show on Spotify and other podcast streaming services, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel to check out unique video elements for each interview.
Live from the slightly twisted deck bar, it's the Poojie Podcast with Justin and Lemminn.
The Poojie Podcast is proudly sponsored by Cimarron Golf Club, located in Jacksonville, Florida, off County Road 210, just west of St. John's Parkway.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Poojie Podcast. It's a special episode for me. It has officially been 1 month since the podcast launched only a month ago, April 4th. So it's been a very quick month, and here we are on Monday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you for all of you Star Wars fans out there. I'm not one of them, but I know there's plenty of them out there. So thank you for supporting me in all of this that I do. And I just want to take you through real quick some of the things that we've done so far in this first month. 11 episodes, and man, has it been fun. All right, want to welcome my buddy Kyle Verbin. Welcome longtime Jacksonville Jaguar, former NFL kicker, avid golfer, current golfer, Josh Scobee onto the show. Thanks for being here, Josh. Want to welcome on Chris Kirschner, the beat reporter for the Atlanta Hawks for The Athletic, some Miami Dolphins football, also touch base a little bit about reality TV. But anyway, Zach Munoz, welcome to the show, man. I'm going to tell you a little bit about his experience on NFL Network with Good Morning Football. So Matt Hamilton, thanks for being here, man. I'm going to tell you a little bit today about health and wellness. Works as an athletic trainer, so thank you for being here, Isabela Collins. 7 years covering the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, these last 2 with The Athletic. He is the beat reporter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for The Athletic. So very excited to have Greg Auman join us today. Former Jacksonville Jaguar defensive lineman, spent some time within MMA, and now currently works as a Jax sports radio personality with ESPN 690 AM. So I want to welcome Austen Lane to the show. Thanks for being here, Austen. 4 close friends of mine and Jaguar fans who love nothing but Jaguar football talk. We have Sam Leggett, Jacob Yurtical, Luke Mucci, and Kyle Verbin here. I do want to welcome on the owner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, Ken Babby, to the program. Thanks for being here, Ken. So there you have it, the first intros to the first 11 episodes that we've done here so far. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope you all have enjoyed it just as much as I have. And feel free to let me know which some of your favorite guests have been, some of your favorite episodes. Maybe leave it in the comments, shoot me a message, let me know maybe someone that you'd like for me to have back on, maybe some questions that you'd like for me to have with some of these people that I've already spoken to. But something I get pretty often from a lot of the guests that come on my show are questions about myself, I guess learning more about me and what I'm all about. And I did want to take this time today, with it being our 1 month launch anniversary, to answer some of those questions that I've gotten from guests and friends and family, and just kind of take you through a little bit about who I am and what I'm all about. So let's get our first question here. Where did your passion for the Jaguars come from, and how do you continue to stick with the team through thick and thin? Wow. I feel like this is a question that a lot of us Jaguar fans have gotten recently, especially this past decade has been very rough for us. Only 1 playoff appearance in the last 10 years, 2 in the last, 14, 2007 and 2017. And, it is difficult. Obviously, when you're a fan of a team, anytime they aren't as successful as you would hope, and you see friends and family that maybe are enjoying some nice moments with their teams, it's obviously very difficult to stand by your team. But I think that's what the special thing is about sports, is being able to, identify with a team, and that is your team through thick and thin. I think it's a commitment to that team. You stand by their side, and you just kind of fight through all of those difficult times and make those sweet times even sweeter. So I guess if I had to answer that question, it would be knowing that the grass is hopefully greener on the other side, and that the success that the team will have here in the future will be well worth it through all these painful times that we face. So Duval till I die. That's what I've always said, and I know a lot of people here in Jacksonville say that too. So thanks for that question. Let's get to the next one. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen on the golf course? This is actually a really good question. I do get to play quite a bit of golf and spend some time on the golf course. So I do enjoy hitting the links every now and then. And I don't know what the craziest thing I've ever seen is. It's nothing crazy like crocodiles or crazy animals that you've seen on YouTube videos or on Instagram, things like that. But I think one of the craziest things I've seen recently, I was out playing golf with a buddy of mine, James, and some of his friends. And I we're in the same group. Some guy hit a hole-in-one. His friend Nick hit a hole-in-one, and I had never seen a hole-in-one happen in real life from an average weekend golfer. Definitely, professionals hit hole-in-ones, and that's expected, but never had seen it in real life. And I guess if I had to go away from the actual sport of golf, the craziest thing I've seen is a few weeks ago, or actually a few months ago, out on a golf course here in Jacksonville, Florida, and saw a group of people on the first hole drive their golf cart into the lake. They tried to grab it and get it out before it went all the way down, but that thing just sunk all the way down to the lake. You could only see the top of it, and then it was gone. So, that thing, I guess, could still be there, but who knows? It was gone as far as I was concerned. So thanks for that question. Good stuff there. So we do have our next question here, but I do also want to take a second just to let everyone know that is watching this, maybe listening to this on Spotify, that we are now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, as well as be sure to follow us on Instagram. And if you want to follow us on Facebook, Twitter as well. So feel free to do that and give us a like, subscribe. You'll be able to see the first videos when they're posted. So be sure to do that. So our next question, rank the playoffs for the 4 major sports and why? All right, so this is tough. We got the NBA, the NHL, and the NFL, plus the MLB. So I'm not a big basketball fan, as a lot of people would know that kind of have grown up with me that know me pretty well. But I will say I do like the NBA playoffs because it is a higher level of talent, I think. I like seeing the superstars go at it. Baseball, it's a little bit of a slower sport, of course. A lot of people know that. But I do think similar to basketball, when you get into the hump for October into the playoffs, it is enjoyable to watch what the teams can do, what the pitchers can do, the pitching duels. Sometimes, obviously you get those high-scoring games are fun. So the NHL, I think, is interesting because not a lot of people here in Florida enjoy hockey. I'm different. I do enjoy hockey a lot. I think it's an extremely action-packed sport. I like to say it's what every sport wants to be, but it's a combination into one. You have the physicality, but then you also have the speed into that sport. And it's unique, obviously, on skates, on ice. It's just not something you see normally from a major sport. So I enjoy the NHL. As far as the playoffs go, I think there's a lot of parity in the NHL playoffs. I think the series aspect of it can actually allow for some of these wild card teams, maybe non-divisional winners, to actually make runs. So I do like the NHL playoffs, and then the NFL. I think football is my favorite sport, so I do have a soft spot for the NFL. There is some good parity in the NFL as well. We've seen a lot of these wild card teams make runs for it. Most recently, we had the Titans actually make it to the AFC Championship, which was actually a pretty big feat for them. A little bit difficult to stomach as a Jaguar fan, but enjoyed seeing that happen anyways. So if I had to answer this, I would say NHL with the Stanley Cup playoffs because of the action, NFL playoffs because of the parity and the excitement around the sport. And then I'd say NBA and MLB are going to be 3A and 3B. The NBA is a little bit more action-packed, I think, as far as speed. But I think the MLB, I'm a little bit bigger of a baseball fan than I am of a basketball fan. So thanks for that question. Thank you. And our next question we have here is, this is a tough question. This is going to be difficult. Wawa or Firehouse subs? So anyone that knows me even kind of well knows that I love me some Firehouse subs. I think there's very few alternatives to a nice, warm sandwich from Firehouse. Fills you up. It's a nice hearty meal. But Wawa, I think, is just a totally different spectrum just based on the fact that you go into it not thinking it's going to be as delicious as it is. But I do think Wawa is a very good hoagie as well. I also think Wawa helped get me through college, inexpensive and really kind of was a nice trusty friend on those late nights getting through college if I was up late studying, or maybe it was up late getting home from one of the college bars in the area. So it was great to grab a Wawa hoagie. If I had to pick between the two, which I hate to do, I would probably go with Firehouse subs. Nothing beats a turkey bacon ranch or an Italian. But I wouldn't be crying my eyes out if I ended up in a Wawa parking lot a little bit hungry. So that's what I would say for that. And then while I have this card, the next question is, what's your favorite sports movie and why? So this is a difficult question. For anyone that's just a fan of sports in general, this is difficult because there's so many sports movies of so many different genres. You have comedy, you have serious sports movies, family-friendly sports movies. If it was top 3, I think it'd be a little bit easier for me. Remember the Titans would have to be number 1, I think, on any spectrum. Angels in the Outfield is up there as well as Miracle, the hockey movie. I like Miracle because it does tie into the Olympics and patriotism, obviously a big thing, in that movie. So great to watch Miracle anytime you get the chance. But for number 1 overall, I'd have to go with Remember the Titans. Football is my favorite sport at the end of the day. And I feel like Remember the Titans just has a lot of memorable moments and a lot of quotable moments. There's so many things in that movie that you can kind of tie back to your everyday life, or maybe it's weekly, but just some fun things that you can always joke with friends and those that have seen that movie and quote that movie and go back and forth, and a lot of good actors as well. So really good movie there. Angels in the Outfield, just more so for the family-friendly aspect of it, but Remember the Titans with the lessons that can be learned. I would go with Remember the Titans. So you think football is fun? Why are you smiling? Why are you smiling, Petey? Petey Jones, running back, the running back, y'all. So all those quotable moments are just amazing. So thank you for that question. I do want to take this time real quick to actually tell you about this new item that we have. It is the Poojie Podcast koozie in a nice black and teal to support the hometown Jaguars. The Poojie Podcast on one side and the slightly twisted deck bar on the other side, which is obviously where I record all of these podcasts. So no better way to enjoy a Poojie Podcast episode, which release on Mondays and Thursdays, than with a nice Poojie Podcast koozie and a nice cold beer. So enjoy it. Enjoy the koozie. Let me know if you're interested. Shoot me a message. Hit me up on Instagram or on any of the social media platforms that we're on, and I'll tell you more details on how to get one. So be sure to grab one. So we do have our next question here. It is a question from a guest that's been on the show, which is actually very exciting, of course. From seeing your personal Instagram, you obviously get to travel a lot for sporting events. What are your top 3 favorite cities that you've been to for a sporting event? This is definitely a tough question, I would say. Anyone that knows me knows that I enjoy Pittsburgh a lot. I'm in love with the city of Pittsburgh. I've gotten to be there twice, so I've enjoyed those experiences on Mount Washington. So not a lot of people know Pittsburgh has mountains. In fact, I didn't know Pittsburgh had mountains before I went there. So it is an enjoyable city for sure. They have a casino if you're looking to lose any money or place some bets on sports for you to lose the next day. So definitely go check out Pittsburgh. Shout out to my boy Cece. Met him up in Pittsburgh at the casino there. Now actually down in Fort Lauderdale. But if I had to go with numbers 2 and 3, it's a little bit of a toss-up. I'll go with Nashville as number 2. I had a lot of fun there at a Jaguars-Titans game a few years ago. I went there with some friends with my brother, and I really enjoyed it there. Cool Broadway, scene, obviously, there on the Strip and everything, going to those country bars and just enjoying the time there in Nashville. And then number 3 would have to be Dallas. I think Dallas was a very fun city, and we had a good time there. We went to the Honky Tonk. We went over to Billy Bob's and really enjoyed ourselves at Billy Bob's. Maybe a little bit too much, but definitely had a good time and enjoyed what we knew as true country Western times. So a cool amphitheater, bull riding, little intro area there, which was definitely unique, and had some fun at Billy Bob's in Dallas. So I would go Pittsburgh, then I would go Nashville, and then I would go Dallas. And I think we have our last question here. So this is a tough one, but it's a fun one. Thoughts on the hot dog eating contest? So, it's difficult because I don't know exactly what thoughts you're looking for, but I guess simply I think it's great. I think it's an awesome contest, and I think a lot of people enjoy tuning into it. It's a classic, event that just started as kind of a fair in a city and kind of became a massive national event over the course of the past few decades. And obviously now competitive eating is a I guess it's a sport. It's definitely competitive. There's a science behind it. And I'd actually like to know the science behind the hot dog eating contest. I know there's a lot of videos about it and everything. And it'd be interesting to know kind of what the water does and how it tastes, and if they even enjoy what they're doing, or if they're simply just housing all these hot dogs for the prize money and everything. So I can't imagine it'd be delicious to do that, but they're definitely athletes, I guess, right? You're doing something that not a lot of people can do. So I think it's great. I think it's an American tradition on the 4th of July, something for the American people to kind of sit back and rally behind, almost like the National Spelling Bee. Just a weird thing that's going to be on ESPN, but it's going to be enjoyable to watch just to see the reactions from the fans and the contestants. So I do enjoy the hot dog eating contest. I think that maybe the contest does need to figure out a way to make it more competitive among all competitors. But it is enjoyable to watch. Joey Chestnut, after Kobayashi, has seemed to taken the reins as the true hot dog eating champion in America. So cool to see that. But I do want to appreciate everyone for joining in on this. It's been a fun little episode to record for you all. And there's plenty of questions left that I haven't answered that I look forward to answering in the future down the road. But definitely thank you to everyone who submitted me questions. And again, be sure to follow us on all of our platforms. We are on YouTube if you want to watch these video elements. We also have Instagram if you want to check out some cool pictures and videos from these recordings, as well as our koozies. Please reach out and purchase a koozie if you'd like one. I'll give you more details on that when you reach out. They are only $5, so definitely support the podcast and show your pride for the Jaguars with the black and teal koozie. And then be sure to follow us and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So with that being said, I appreciate this, and best of luck to everyone this week. It is a Monday, May 4th, so enjoy your week, and cheers.